Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, sir.
So before we proceed to our next topic, may I call someone to recall our previous topic? May I call Mr. Wang?
Our previous topic is Model 5 Demonstrator, which talks about designing counting.
Okay, very good. So before we proceed to our new topic, I have prepared here a motivational game, and it is entitled Number Sequence. And it actually has a time rule for 30 seconds only. So can you please read the instruction?
This is the game is a number sequence. All of you need to stand. The teacher will start the game by speaking the number 1 and starting the timer. So any of you will continue counting the sequence of numbers. The ones who have nothing at the same time as counting the next number should sit once they're done. This means that they're already safe from the game. Those who have the same time or almost the same time of speaking the next number, normally 2 people or can be more, will guess the title of the song that I will play. The song that will be played is in piano version. The students will recently recited the next number and have A and B C. The students beside him, either his right side or his left side, they must not continue counting the next number. If one continued reciting the next number, then he or she will guess the title and will probably sing 2 lines of the song that will be played. No exemptions. Lastly, those who remain standing after the 30 seconds time rule will probably answer or guess the rest songs.
Is this instruction clear or not? Or are you reading
Yes.
So the instruction is all of you need to stand, so please stand. Please be quiet. So based on the instruction, I teacher will start the game by speaking the number 1, and any of you will continue the normal counting sequence of numbers. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Remember, there is only 50 seconds time rule, so okay, so I will start counting and I'll start adjusting the timer. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Mr. Noel and Miss Ahmad, sana. So, paunahan sa pagsagot sa title ng please be quiet. Mama coaching. When you pick a song with one word, title entitled with one word. Serious? Can someone will steal? Okay, alright, Dilaw. Someone okay, there's only 20 seconds left. So I start again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So please, Random songs. No Gucci. Correct. Again, next remember, this is like a step. One, two, three, one. Okay.
Hindi ko maaari.
English song. Please be quiet. Bigyan bakit yung mga parang Uy, oxygen.
Shake it off.
Correct. Yung mga yung can you going parang okay. There's only 20 seconds left. Sige. Ito na ako. Or start. 1, 2, 3, 1.
2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Alright. Okay. Madali lang ito. Kaunahan. Someone will steal? Steal? Or steal? Correct. Okay, for this word, remember 14 seconds means left. 1, 2, 3, 1.
2, 3.
English song. No OG. Still? Wait lang. Wala. 5, 4, 3, wrong. 2, 1, still. Oh. If you can answer to sing two lines, if you can answer the title, you can try to think through. No. Remember, only 12 seconds left. 12 seconds left. 12 seconds left. One, two, one, two, three, one.
Five, six.
Wrong. The rule is that once someone is counted, so probably you can guess the title of the song and you will sing one lyric. Please try. The song by Lady Gaga. Copy there. Still, title and sing one line. Title and one line. So what's title of the song? What is
You're just
At na lang ngayon, wala lang sa isang song. Just one song. One word title. English. No. If someone will guess the correct answer title of the song and sing two lines, I will give reward. Sing two lines. Okay, so I think so based from our motivational game, what do you think is our topic or the title of our topic for today? Miss Tano? What is answer if you answer?
We did a lot of the game is all about singing, and so it is all about
Okay, very good, please. So the title of our topic is Song by Ali Ahmad Sani. Nice. So at the end of the student, at the end of the discussion, the students should be able to understand what is the book song all about, should be able to know the literary elements used, and of course the literary devices of the poem, and lastly, the theme or the themes or the nature that the poem expresses. So who is Ahmad Esber? Besides Esber, can please someone can read?
Ali Ahmad Esber was a prominent Syrian poet and writer. He is known for his contributions to Arabic literature, particularly modern poetry. His work often explores themes such as personal identity, social and political issues, and the human condition. Esper's poetry is recognized for its rich imagery, emotional depth, and innovative use of language. His contributions have had a significant impact on contemporary Arabic literature.
So in short, Ali Ahmad Esber is a prominent Syrian poet, and he started writing or he has broken his boundaries in writing poems from traditional techniques to modernist style or modernist technique. So what's the genre of the poem? It's lyric poetry. I'll just read the definition. Lyric poetry. The poem falls under the genre of lyric poetry, which is a form of poetry that expresses personal emotions or thoughts of the speaker. It often focuses on the inner experience of the poet rather than telling a story. So in short, lyric poetry most lyric poetry are written by through the experiences of the poet or the writer. And lyric poetry has these distinct characteristics where they have song-like quality or musical-like quality, where when you imagine or try to sing that line or particular line of a lyric poem, it sounds like a song. And there are actually some versions of some poems, lyrical poems. One example is The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. So the form of the poem is already
Readers. The poem is likely written in three verse, a form that does not follow a specific rhyme scheme or meter. This allows for flexibility in expression and reflects the modern style of the novelist, who is known for breaking away from traditional forms in Arabic poetry.
so in short, free verse has no rhyme scheme and has no meter. And okay, so let's focus now on the poem. Please read before I discuss.
Bells on our eyelashes, and the dead throats of birds, and I among fields of speech, and I on a horse made of dirt. My lungs are my poetry, my eyes are blue, and I under the skin of birds. On the gleaming banks of home, a poet to stand and die, living distinct elegy before the faces of poets, for birds at the edge of sky.
So let's go back from the first line. Bells on our eyelashes. What do you think is the figures of speech used in this line? Just a guess. There's no. What do you think? Bells on our eyelashes. There are actually two questions. What is the figures of speech used and what is the literary device used? Any idea? So wala. It's imagery and metaphor. Because imagery in a sense that what is what do you think is the characteristics of a bell? What do you think is what? Loud, right? It creates sound where when it creates sound it catches our attention, right? Like, for example, the bell in the church, right? So when it's loud, it catches our attention. So in here, in this line, it's used metaphorically in a sense that it paints a picture of tiny bells hanging from the edges of our eyelashes, which would make us aware of any change or movement around us. The idea here is that these tiny bells would make us extra sensitive or alert, noticing even the smallest things happening around us. So in this case, it actually particular talks about the poets where they are really observant, sensitive in the sense that when they notice something, that thing or happening that could actually give them an idea in making their piece or their poem. That's ba? Okay, so when we, in a sense, like for example, when there are bells, literal bells hanging from our edges, our eyelashes, what do you think is the feeling, or what can you feel? It's heavy, right? So some might say heavy, or some may be irritated, or so. So that's the meaning of the first line. And poetically, it actually talks about symbolizes the unique way of seeing the world. And the next line, and the death throes of words. When we say death, or when we read death, what do you think is the meaning of the word death? And or termination of something. So in this case, in this line, it talks about words and the death throes of words. The term death throes means it suggests a final moments or struggles before something ends. So it talks about words, death throes of words, wherein these words, which can be written, spoken, or even poetic, word in which they have their own life cycle, where they get born, evolve, and eventually fade away. In that sense, what do you think is the figures of speech used? Where they get born, evolve, and eventually fade away. Figures of speech. Remember, words are the correct personification. So in this case, it is personification because words have given human-like qualities. Human-like qualities were eventually were specifically they get die or go through. That's the second one. And actually it talks about the works and words of poets, wherein it's either their works will be placed in a hidden area or their works will be appreciated and disseminated around the world. That's bad. It's either die or live. So next line, and I among fields of speech. Imagine you're standing in the crowd, hearing a lot of speeches, communications, conversations. What do you think is the feeling, or what do you feel? Some might say they might be curious, right? Curious of what are they talking about? I mean, what they are talking about, or what are the topics? In this line, in this sense, the third field of speech evokes a vast landscape of communication, expression, and language. So, in connection to the fourth line, a knight on a horse made of dirt, the poet here, or these poets, are characterizing themselves as a knight. What is the characteristics of a knight? Brave, strong, confident, determined, right? Determined to go in a battle. So in this case, the poet is trying to be strong, noble, determined in navigating the spheres of speech. He is trying to be strong, like a knight, in delving deeper into the true meaning behind these words, this language, in order for him to get a wider knowledge and idea in writing a poem. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So in the a horse made of dirt, what do you think is that? The meaning of a horse made of dirt is what figures of speech. Ayun, okay. What figures of speech used in this fourth line? A knight on horse made of dirt. It's metaphor. It's a metaphor because the poet here is trying to is trying to act like a knight or a strong noble, but the foundation he relies on is something that is fragile and unstable, like a horse made of wood, which means he is imperfect. He has limitations. Like for example, me at this time, I am trying to be confident, to be strong in explaining this poem, but I cannot deny that I have these imperfections that I cannot respond. Also, again, related in real life, a knight and a horse made of dirt. A knight is you, and the horse made of dirt is imperfections. Usually, someone resigned. Is someone right? The knight is you, and the horse made of dirt are with imperfections. Humans are what makes us perfect. So, can someone relate this in real life? A knight and a horse made of dirt. You are a knight, are with imperfections. Can you spot on?
Always, if I will relate it in real life, you see me as a good singer, but the back of that, I experienced a lot of practices, a lot of hardships.
Very good. Okay. So let's proceed to the fifth line. My lungs are made poetry. Before I further discuss this phrase, my lungs are made poetry, what is the function of or use of our lungs?
Breathe.
Correct. So it is used for breathing and sustaining life. If you don't breathe, you can. So if you don't breathe, we can speak, and if we don't speak, we can express ourselves. So in this case, the poet associated his lungs with poetry because poetry is his life force. Just as lungs are essential for breathing and sustaining life, and a life force of our body, poetry is his life force, which means it is his means of expression. It implies here that creating poetry is a natural and essential part of who he is, essential part of his being, wherein his life would be dull and empty without poetry. That's right. Okay. My eyes are both. What is the use or function of our eyes?
See.
Correct. So it's used for viewing. So he associated again the word eyes with the book because our eyes our eyes are how we see and perceive the world. Which means our eyes hold stories, narratives, and knowledge just much like a book does. Since each glance and each gaze of our eyes will contain a volume of unspoken narratives that can be written down just much like the pages of a book. Yes, ba?
Yes.
Okay. Next, sixth line, and I under the skin of words. What do you think is the literary device used? Or and figurative speech. And I under the skin of words. What? Is Imichi. Actually, it's Imichi because he is imagining himself that he is under the skin of bird. So, metaphorically, again, the meaning of this is that it symbolizes that he is in under or beneath the surface of words. It means he is delving deeper or delving beyond deeper into the true meaning, emotions, and essence behind these words. Which means it's not only about the definitions or the literal meanings of words. Yes, ba? Okay, so next. The beaming banks of foam. Foam, correct. Beaming here means bright and lively. So the poet is imagining himself that he is in the lively place. Say, for example, on a beach, where beach, like for example, the poet here is standing on a beach where the water meets the land and the water touches his feet and the waves create foam and the sun makes the water light and bright, makes the place lively and bright. So the speaker here is imagining himself standing on an edge of something that is bright and lively, where his emotions and his thoughts are constantly moving like waves on a beach. So in relation to the sixth line, when I under the skin of words, the poet is trying to delve beyond deeper into the true meaning behind words, and at the same time, he is imagining himself standing on the edge of something that is bright and lively, where his feelings and emotions are constantly moving. Like for example, when we are at the beach, what is the feeling? Kapag tayo sa beach, right? Peaceful, in fact.
Relax.
Relaxing. That means, which means our thoughts, emotions are just freely moving, freely. Okay. So, eighth line, a poet who sang and died. So in this line, ito na makita mo bakit the poet entitled his poem song. So in this line, it talks about we must focus on the word sang. The poet who sang and died, which means it means he created a lot of peace. He created a lot of contributions to the words, poems and other literary works until he met his last breath, until he died. It talks about the legacy of poets who are contributing pieces to the words to the world until they pass away. Next, leaving this elegy. So in this case, the word song here is like for example, songwriters, they are making songs, right? So poets, in relation to that, they are making poems. So the poems is like their song. Since the poems are actually made by authors in relation to their experiences and stories. So in the next line, leaving this same elegy, which means, what does the word elegy means? Right? Writes about a sorrowful or reflective poem that naturally honor someone that is who has passed away. So this line does not only talk about sorrowful or painful emotions, but talks about the sense of scorching or burning, which means they had left. These poets had left something, a piece or a poem where it had a lasting impact. It's like a mark burned into my memories that, which means their works did not just been placed in the hidden area, but appreciated, analyzed, by a lot of people. Like for example, this poem, which means it is still living even after their gone. Next, before the phases of the poets, phases of the poets means talks about. Correct. Absolutely correct. So it talks about the personality of the poets. It talks about the poet themselves, wherein they are really or extra, observant, sensitive, thoughtful, creative, and senseful. In a sense that if they notice something, that thing or happening would actually give them idea in creating their piece. And last line, for birds at the edge of the sky. What is the symbolism of birds? Freedom. Peace. Peace. So in this line talks about the spirituality of poets, where it talks about the essence of the spirit of adventure and exploration, which means these poets wants to seek new horizons, just much like birds flying at the edge of the sky. Which means their work should be still be classical, which means even after decades or centuries, it will still be appreciated and disseminated around the world. Like for example, there is poem. Yes, ma'am. So actually, it was translated by Jairo, not Howard. So this is the theme or major theme or the minor themes of this book. Was about right freedom. There are actually a lot of themes of this book. What is the major theme of this book? Because as I said earlier, they are very observant, thoughtful, creative, sensitive in the sense that. Okay, so based on my explanation, why do you think he entitled it as a song? Will someone decide why it was entitled as a song? If, for example, like what I have said earlier, that poem is like their song. So why do you think he entitled it as a song? You understand?
I think it is the value of song because true songs make it express our emotions, thoughts, and feelings, and we can also relate ourselves and reflect on what we are experiencing in our real life.
Correct. That's actually correct. It talks about the expressions, feelings, emotions, and whole the whole life of a person, or whole life of a poet. So the theme is also the major theme is art as expression, because the poem likely underscores the role of art in poetry as a powerful means of expressing complex emotions and ideas. It shows how creativity can convey personal and universal truths. So, I guess, diba?
Yes.
So I think let's proceed to the group activity. Please count on four.
Two, three, one, two, three, four, one, two, three, four, one, two, three, four.
One, two, three, and four. So, ang gagawin nyo is, kumuha kayo ng term or isang line sa phone and then make a poem of that line. For example, a night on a horse made of dirt. You should create a poem of that title. English ba? You're going to choose any of each line of the poem and then make a poem of that our phrase or term we have chosen. Here, choose or pick one line or term or phrase in this poem and make a poem of that line. Yes. Correct. Line. Yes, anyways. It can be a line or bells. It can be bells, the word bells, or singers. May number may poetry, may kinds of book. It's up to you. Actually, send that on our GC. The best group will have a prize. There are big first parties that are creativity, clarity, or the sense of the poem. And lastly, it should be 2 to 3 stanzas. Yes, 2 to 3 stanzas. So the rotation should be clear, it should be successful, and it should be creative, and it must be 2 to 3 stanzas. You have given 5 minutes for that. You can write down one, 5 minutes for that activity. And someone will present it in front. Per group. If you have a question, you can ask me what is the meaning each line. From the idea. Yes, even one word, like for example, bells, or speech, or words. So 3 stanzas. It's a free phrase. You can write it in the free The group will be the group of people from. So be creative. Your word is gonna be. Yes, and just excuse. So I'm gonna decide. Copy. 4 minutes left. Don't search. Don't search on Google. Google these taxes. It's up to you. 24. Yes, it's a formal text. Okay, you are to the right. Three minutes left. 3 minutes left, guys. Four to six times 2 minutes. No, because the phone explains itself. For you searching. Okay,
Ako lang nag
be quiet. Group 4. Two minutes and 30 seconds left. Ay, ito, nakikinig ko sa mobile. Ay, sorry. Three. Very well. Okay, 1 minute left. You can make it on your phone. Lastly, then you can have an introduction of your phone before reading your piece. You can have an introduction. Introduction na ako, what is also of the phone, and then
The book can speak for itself.
I'm correct. That's an introduction, don't explain me, just an introduction of that book. What's all about that book? In general. Mr. Noel, what book is this? And you, what book are you reading? Is one, right? One and three. Minus one already. Discipline. We have to discipline.
Sir, you did not use show us right here.
I have to. So I guess all of you are done. Your phones. Phones, look number one. Okay. Someone will present your phone introduction and take your phone. Yes. Let's read that. Yes. Guys, I fast and quiet. Guys, be quiet, okay?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We are the group one, and the line that we choose is "My lungs are my phone, leave my eyes out." So we entitled our poem. So number one. Everyone has a story to tell. We can never tell. Opening the wonder of the world, a journey to unfold. Living with chants and rhymes, giving purpose and wisdom to life. Every poem has its time to bring their words out to shine. Observing all things, we can appreciate the value of everything. My eyes a book with stories deep. In every glance, a secret to keep. Through joy and pain, the pages turn. Lessons in life we all must learn.
Hey, Jairo, those nothing or please write this in the one of course, yung mga na perfect. Kung kasi yan kay ma'am, maybe,
So good afternoon, guys. We are group 2 and we chose the word death. And the title of our poem is "To My Loved Ones." So this poem talks about a letter of a dead person to his loved ones who are left behind. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am not there, I cannot see. Do not stand at my grave and weep, for I am not forever with you. A life once by running now lies still in bed. Memories linger and days spring of days. The world seems deeper and shadow us, as we bid farewell to the ones who pass. But in our hearts a flame burns, a testament Okay, so hi everyone. The line that we have chosen is My Eyes Are Book. So just like a book, our soul and heart has a lot of stories to tell. Our eyes poke of emotions that we hide. Sometimes we try to hide what we feel, but as they have said, our eyes are the windows to our soul, reflecting the pages that our life had. And in connection to that, it shows the importance of opening up to any mediums we can express ourselves. My eyes are book, lost in the middle of my thoughts, outnumbered, uncountable, unspoken, like a fluttering eyelash, peeking from the window. Though I can see, my heart can. Emotions written creatively on paper. Every ship kindling the fire, every open window dreams to tell. Though I can speak, my words rehearse. All the character molded like clay. The word carries all hidden gems. My eyes revealing treasures on a book.
Before you're ready, please pass your output for me.
So the line that we took from the folk song is the line a night on a horse. So a night on a horse. So the poem that we made through from that line is entitled A Quest for Knowledge. So this poem compares students' minds on a journey, portraying their educational experience like a hero. I want to read it. A quest for knowledge. A student rides into the dawn, a knight in the armor of knowledge. Their steed, a mind eager to learn, eyes fixed on the horizon of unknowns. But the path is steep, and the armor heavy with the weight of expectations. Yet, with every challenge faced, every trial endured, unyielding in the pursuit of truth, determined to conquer the battles.
So please do your presentation through one and this currently reading and first year presentation. The winners I will just be announcing our team. So I think that ends our